It seemed that throughout 2014, every time you turned on the TV or opened a newspaper, news of a new and ever more devastating cyber attack was not far away. Most recently, we saw the crippling attack against Sony Pictures, which left its internal systems unusable and saw its employees' personal data traded online. The question is, have companies learned from the last 12 months? And can they do anything to stop their customers' data being stolen and traded online? With so many high-profile breaches in the news these days, surely companies are now fully aware of the threat that is out there from cyber espionage, hackers and hacktivists. I asked Cisco's Director of Cybersecurity, Terry King, if the Sony Pictures attack has really raised awareness.
It's another large company that's been hacked, been breached. Does it raise awareness? Yes, there's a lot of that going on. I guess it's a positive thing. But there's been a challenge with some of these high-profile attacks, which is smaller businesses just haven't seen the relevance. It's a big global organisation, it won't happen to me. And I kind of think what's interesting in the Sony one is because of the film, pre-release, etc., we can kind of know what happened. It's a bit more, it resonates with people a lot more in smaller business. So I hope, rather than this big thing taking place on a global basis that many businesses and organisations can't relate to, they start to understand, if I was in that industry, this would be a problem for me.
According to a recent survey carried out by Cisco, less than 60% of employees are aware of major security threats and the risks they pose to their own and company data. As we have seen in the Sony attack, hackers increasingly target a company's employees rather than trying to find holes in its security software as a way to breach the company's system. King says that unlike the real world, we still haven't fully grasped the threats out there in cyberspace.
In a physical world, we know how to adapt. We know what a risk is. We know not to walk down a darkened alley. We know that if someone knocks on our door and says, hello, I want to come into your property and just kind of forage around, we probably don't let them. In a cyber world, as human beings, we just haven't been through that learning exercise. So the report did pop up a couple of interesting things. Something like 60% recognised that security was important. They recognised it was important and felt maybe their company should do more. In fact, a third of them said, I want our companies to be even more robust in what we do to help protect us, which is kind of cool. But a third seemed to be completely disconnected with security, like it's not my responsibility.
So what can companies really do? King believes that the messages need to come from the top.
I think within organisations, certainly if at board level, CEO starts understanding risk, we talk about IT security, but it's really about risk to a business. Once they start to understand that and push the message down, they tend to be more aware. What tends to happen, users join a company, they go through some sort of cyber security training. Some of it's quite short, some's a bit lengthier. I guess the point is they should keep going through that because the bad guys are out there trying to attack all the time. I mean, minute by minute, right? It's not an annual thing where I understand cybersecurity, now I've got it nailed. That isn't the way it works.
In Cisco's survey, over 30% of people believed cybersecurity was hindering innovation, which suggests that people are willing to bypass the systems in place just to get their work done. This is potentially a major problem for companies, but King believes there is a compromise to be made.
Arguably, people in security, if we had our way, we'd stop all that. We'd stop phones, we'd stop tablets, we'd stop PCs, we'd cut the internet. I mean, just go back to chalk and slate. Yeah. Patently it's nonsensical. So there needs to be a different way of thinking from a technology standpoint, which is rather than saying no to everyone, you can't do that, you can't do that, you definitely can't do that as well. Find a way to say yes. There are ways to secure people whilst you're saying yes and whilst you enable them to collaborate.
Despite 2014 being the year hackers took control, it doesn't look like 2015 is going to be any better, and King pulls no punches when asked if things will improve anytime soon.
I guarantee you the situation's not going to get better. Hopefully we all as individuals and organisations get better at their approach and we can protect ourselves a little bit better. But let's understand, this is human behaviour behind this. This is not a technology thing. Technology isn't bad. And wherever you go with humans, you've got envy, greed, people think horrible things. And whenever you've got that and you've got a medium to exploit, in this case technology, they're going to find different ways to attack. So I'm not sure the incidents are necessarily going to go down. Maybe what we can start doing is be a little bit more aware, stop some of the attacks and breaches, and mitigate and understand and operate in this world.
Thanks for tuning into this week's Tech Talk, and for all your technology news and reviews, make sure to check out ibtimes.co.uk/technology.